All right, the NFL draft is tomorrow. Everyone's talking about this draft class like it's a one running back class. It's not. Terrence and Chris here from Draft Theory. We're going to tell you about the top nine. Yes, I said nine running backs who should at least consider targeting in your best ball drafts right now before the NFL draft, while you can get maximum value for your picks. And the first guy we're going to talk about is Kalon Black. He's being drafted 230 overall, went to Indiana. I like Black more than where he's projected to go in the actual NFL draft. What do you think about Kalon
Mhm.
Black?
Yeah, I think he's definitely a late grab here. Definitely good. 1060 as a senior. Transferred out of James Madison, averaged around 5.5 a carry over there. 8 catches though in 2 years at Indiana. That's a little bit concerning, but as a runner, he's solid, man. Take a shot on him.
Sure, he's a great blocker too. That's going to get him some
Yep.
play time.
I'll get him on the field. Yep.
And you know what? The thing with this is, I put him first on the list. He's not, he's a deep sleeper. He's a deep sleeper. In my opinion, he's the deepest sleeper worth taking shots on. The next couple of guys, I might discourage a little bit. Maybe you like him a little bit more than me, but I wanted to start with someone that people could at least consider taking in their draft, start him out with some valuable information. And Kalen Black, there's a small chance that he can contribute enough to get you some points at the end of the draft and be worth taking with one of your last round picks. We'll see what kind of situation he ends up in, but he might worth be, taking a couple shots. I like
Yeah,
him
I
more,
I do think he's ready to get reached. If you're gonna take a shot, he's definitely on the radar to at least put on your team in some
at least
sort of
some small
format.
exposure just in
Small,
case.
yep, I agree.
I've got a little bit more exposure to him than the next couple guys we're going to talk about. We'll see how you feel about them.
Okay.
Starting with this guy right here, Jaden Ott. In my opinion, he looked better the year before last when he
Yeah,
played for Cal.
a cow, yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
you know, he played with Fernando Mendoza over there. A lot of people don't realize it, but Fernando Mendoza went to Cal last year too. Year before last year, I guess now at this point. But you know what I'm saying. He's not being drafted on average, Jaden. He could end up being a decent pro. I'm not predicting much production as a rookie. I think Ott is our first landmine you might want to avoid. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not drafting him at this point. Pre-draft, I'll probably stay away from him. Post-draft, if he has an opportunity at an RB2,
Yeah,
maybe an
maybe he'll end up
RB3
on
with
a team
upside.
with a thin run back room.
Sure.
You
And one
know,
injury, maybe he gets on the field. But
yep.
as of now, he may be a name that you would hear, but a name that I won't
And
be
that's a good
taking too
point.
many.
He might end up being a one injury away kind of player. And those are the guys that you probably should take a little bit of shots on because these guys are going to be super low owned. And if you can sneak a team into the playoffs and then this guy gets some play time week 15, 16, 17, he might be the guy that you need, the guy that's 3% owned in the playoffs and, and just smash for you. It's very possible. I mean,
Yeah.
not that possible.
Well, as possible as it can be.
Yeah. So then I'm not sure if you say Demond or Demond, but Demond Claiborne, Wake Forest, on average, he's going 229 right now. He didn't have the most impressive RAS score, so that tells you he's not exactly prototype size and speed, but it might be confusing, but even though he had a low relative athletic score, you can tell just by watching him on tape, he is an above average athlete. He just didn't test so well, in the drills, broad jump, the vertical jump, stuff like that. It really hurt his score. He's getting drafted in the last couple of rounds. I
He did run a 4.37 though, so he's not slow.
Yeah, he's athletic. I think it's the jumping that hurt him, and I don't know. I'm not sure how many attempts he took or whatever, but
I don't think he did that much at the combine. Maybe he did a
seven.
few
I mean, they
drills.
wouldn't have gave him a grade if he didn't do the minimum amount of testing.
Oh,
So
okay, gotcha.
and I didn't look into all his scores or anything, but I did. 7.58 is a little bit low. I mean, basically 10 is a perfect athlete prototype for your position, size, speed, strength, all that stuff. And
Right.
once you get under 8, sometimes that's a little bit alarming, but it's really not a low score. I mean, it seems low, but it's really not that low. What do you think of him, Claiborne? You drafting him?
Yeah. I mean, again, no pre-draft, man. I think he's gonna be one of these names that you hear, and you're gonna, maybe try and put him in your team. I think he's more of like maybe a bye week fill in later in the year, but the first handful of weeks. I don't even think he'll see any time unless it's something substantial happening out there.
Okay. No need to spend much time on him. Let's move right along. And you know what? This next guy, I know you feel a little bit better about him than me, so I'll let you
I
start
do.
on this one.
Yeah, no problem. So this one, Nick Singleton, the running mate over there to Kalen Allen or Kate Allen, sorry, excuse me. But one thing that sticks out to me is he broke Saquon's touchdown record at Penn State. So that already puts him in a nice pedigree in the history book.
Sure.
He did
Limited
break his
carries, too.
foot. Right, right. As a second fiddle for sure. He was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, man. I think it was like 550 this year with 13 touchdowns, added like 200 yards receiving. He's a really good pass catcher, so he can definitely stay on the field. I guess my one complaint, not a complaint, but my one downside to Nick here is that he broke his foot at the Senior Bowl. So we're gonna have to watch that injury, but I will be reaching for him a little
That's
bit
not that
more.
long ago, you know.
No, no, it was quite soon. So you would expect, I don't know, 4 to 6 months before he's actually performing drills over
I
there.
mean, I see some potential as a developmental player.
Right.
I just don't
Yeah,
know how much best ball value he has a rookie. Um, I'm just a little bit worried that he's going to end up in a not so great situation where he's RB3 or whatever, and
mm,
he's really going to need an injury to get some play time as a rookie.
or 2.
But
Yeah,
maybe
no, I
not.
I
We'll see
agree.
what happens. I mean, it's all unknown right now. These are all projections, of course. And
Yeah,
then,
unfortunately, I think, he's probably not gonna be drafted high enough in the real draft to,
no,
get him into a scheme or something like that early. So, as much as I love this guy, he's got some hurdles to overcome to make a productive best year one best ball.
sure. And what about his teammate from Penn State, Katron Allen? Now,
Yeah.
I like him. I mean, I've already taken a couple shots on him in the 20th round. He's been rising a little bit to the 18th, 19th. I haven't been taking him as much in that range. I like him better in the 20th because he's not my favorite guy, but I am taking some shots on him because this guy I think is going to get drafted before Singleton in the real draft. I think
Yep.
that he might end up being someone's second string running back instead of third. I think that he just, this is an end round guy. I'm not saying he's going to win your league, but he might contribute enough to cover a bye week or something. He might be worth taking at the end of some drafts, and maybe an injury away, he could be. He could end up being the guy that you need.
So he did set the school record for rushing over there. So the guy was tearing it up
So
in
he
his,
broke the rushing, and
the
Singleton broke the
rushing.
touchdowns.
Yeah, Saquon's touchdown. So that's
That
what
says good
makes him
things
more
about the
impressive.
offensive line over there at Penn
Oh,
State right now.
yeah, for sure. We should make a video about
Yeah,
just those offensive linemen. But yeah, no, he's obviously the main fiddle over there to Nick Singleton. He will be drafted higher. I think that's without a doubt. He will have more opportunities to get in 18th, 19th round. And you said 18 he's being drafted right now.
I've seen him go as high as the 18. You can still get him in the 20th round sometimes.
No, I would like him back end 19th, 20th
Yeah.
round, but get come tomorrow where he's lands in a great spot, maybe that's even a steal.
Yeah, I mean, these first handful of guys are all real deep sleepers. Probably small exposure to most of these guys, but you probably want some. Now we're moving on to guys who are going to contribute a little bit more. At least it seems like they're going to. And we're going to go to a guy who I like a lot, and
Mm,
Emmett Johnson. He's
me
going a
too.
little bit higher in the draft. His average draft position right now is 177. But Emmett Johnson from Nebraska is dynamic. He's got real good speed, nice hands. He can catch the ball. He's got acceleration, agility. He's got all the tools.
He does.
Yeah.
3 down back,
You
great
like him
speed.
too, right?
Yeah, oh,
I know you
I love
mentioned it
him.
to me before. That was a while ago.
I yeah, best ball reasons, I think he's got a real shot to produce any sort of dynasty, something like that. 1,800 yards last year, 14 on the ground. The dude's a good pass catcher. I mean, 4.56, so he's not like a specific burner, but the
Yeah.
guy's a football player.
When you
He's a
see him
football
run,
player.
it's just a little bit special the way he moves.
Football speed. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's better football speed.
When I watched those highlights, I was almost yelling at myself. And I'm not projecting to have the same kind of career, but I was really reminded of LaDainian Tomlinson. And I mean, we're talking about a running back who reminds me of LT, and his name is Emmett. I
Mm.
mean,
Yeah, maybe we look back at this next year and go, wow, all the signs were there, and we just didn't want to didn't want to take it.
I think he's going to be solid. I don't see him stepping right into a huge workload right away, but I think he's going to have at least a partial share of some teams' run game, and an injury could put him right in Prime's position to be a league winner.
I think the one main point for this is he has the ability to do it if given the
Oh yeah.
opportunity.
Oh, I
If he
mean,
doesn't get the opportunity, then yeah, that's one thing. But if he gets his shot, he can take it and run with it.
sure, for dynasty and stuff, you really need to be targeting this guy. But even in
Absolutely.
best ball, I really like him. I mean, I wouldn't love him if he was going higher, but around 177, that's real good value on this guy, I think.
Yep.
All right, moving along to my favorite player from the combine. I'll tell you what, I watched the combine and he just stood out to me. He was a little bit faster, smoother, and I was watching all the drills, and I know all the running backs didn't compete at the combine, but still, he looked like a pro out there competing with a bunch of college players, at these drills. He just looked smooth. He looked like a pro. And that was my takeaway instantly. I was texting I think I texted you. I texted a couple of my other buddies, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Hey, did you guys
he's
see
been on
Mike
your radar.
Washington Jr. at the
Yeah.
combine? He's guy. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know how I don't know about him. I started watching his tape, and I was not disappointed.
Yeah, man. 6.2 carry, that's pretty good. And he's almost got like a weird career, right? Like a lot of guys will go from they'll dominate at a small school and then get to a bigger school and kind of fall off. He was actually the opposite, man. He was in Buffalo, New Mexico State, didn't really produce that
Got some
well.
man strength and went to
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah, picked up his big boy pants, got over to Arkansas, man, and really did his thing. And really great standout at the combine. Like a lot of good talking about him, a lot of scouts looking at him good, man. I mean, he is a pretty decent value if he gets a good landing spot here. Tomorrow night, if that guy goes, well, maybe not tomorrow night, but over the weekend, if he goes day two, day, early late day two, I think he's got
I
a
think he's
real
going in the
solid
second
shot.
round, most likely.
Yeah. Okay, well, if we say second round, then yeah, that'll give him some good draft
I mean,
capital
I think
to
he has a chance to be taken before Jadarian Price. It's possible.
wow.
I
Wow. I
mean,
mean,
we'll see how it plays out. You never know how these teams have these guys ranked. But if
yeah, it's
if I
definitely
was a
possible.
GM, I think I would want Mike Washington Jr. a little bit more, especially
I
if I knew I might be able to wait a whole round and take him.
Sure, and I believe he was one of only 5 SEC 1,000-yard rushers last year. I could be wrong
Wow.
about that, but I think that's a fact.
And 8 touchdowns rushing the SEC. That's
That's
nothing
big
to
boy
sneeze at.
defenses. No,
Yeah.
no, you're running against some NFL players there.
Yeah. Almost all. Okay. Now, Darian Price, running back 2 from Notre Dame. Average draft position 105. He's shifty. He breaks more tackles than you think he would. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Lions target him as a replacement for David Montgomery. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like that. I just get that feeling. I do expect him to contribute to someone's offense enough,
Yeah,
anyways, to keep you from having a zero. When your studs are on a bye week or whatever. But at least for now, a 105 ADP. I'm not so interested in taking him there. But if he falls a couple of rounds, I'm absolutely snagging him up. I just took him earlier. I didn't stream that draft. It was one of the first ones I did earlier today before I posted him, and I did take him. He fell 2 rounds past ADP, and I'm like, you know what? I just gotta scoop him.
yeah, and I think, if he was on any other team in college, he's a starter.
Yeah.
So, you know, to put up 674 with 11 TDs as a, number 2. Again, as we spoke about Penn State's offensive line, maybe this is a great Notre Dame offensive line also with 2 great running backs. I guess we'll see how it shakes out. He's going.
Wait,
It,
Notre Dame had 2 running backs? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
you almost got me there. Wait a minute. Um, yeah, no, I think if and I guess one thing he actually outperformed Love in per carry due to explosive runs. It could be also because he did play that second fiddle. You see that a lot with even in the NFL how the backup has a higher per carry because they're coming in after Love's beat him up and
Sure.
that he is explosive, but he did have the defense did go against Love first. Yeah, he only had 15 pass catches in his college career. Probably not the greatest, but you know.
Hey, maybe they just didn't utilize him though. I mean, sometimes coaches just don't want to draw up those plays.
So yeah, I think that is half the battle. He did flash when he did make those
But
plays. He flashed the ability to do it, but they just wasn't
if
given
I'm
the
not mistaken,
opportunity.
Love actually did have a significant amount of receptions. So I don't know if we could blame
Right.
it on the scheme so much, like they didn't want to throw it to running backs.
Well, I think that yeah, I think that's actually what makes it interesting about these guys now, man. Because now when they separate from their college career, he was always paired with Love. This could be one of them guys that like transfer to the NFL and just take off and run.
It's very possible.
Just they get the opportunity and the chance to actually shine and do their thing. I think he had a couple of kickoff returns too last year. So I mean, God forbid they toss him
I'm
in
pretty sure I
somewhere. And
remember at least one.
yeah,
I
so
didn't
I
see
mean,
that, doing my research, but if I remember back from the college season, I do think I remember that at least one.
yes. So I mean, you throw a touchdown or two on a punt or a kick return, man. Take those. We take
Yeah,
those.
absolutely. And, just to let everybody know, coming up on our number two best ball prospect, I know some of you might expect him to be our number one prospect, but here's the thing.
Controversial,
Here's the thing. I mean, Jeremiah Love is a really, really good player. He's probably going to be the most productive rookie running back in the class.
probably. Yeah.
But you got to take this guy in the second round. You got to take him around known studs who are
Yep.
already what you're hoping Love is going to turn into.
Yep.
So it's a little risky. Plus, I mean, well, tell me what you think of Love first, and then I'll come back.
I mean, Love as a football player, he's gonna change somebody's football team. I mean,
He's a
I
great
think so.
player,
Yeah, I
no
think he
debate.
comes in and changes the football team and at least gives them explosiveness. But as you alluded to, man, I mean, how many times does the Ashton Genty happen? Right? They come in, you got to take them early, late round
I'm
one,
also
early round
slightly
two.
worried that Genty is like souring our taste for Love a little bit because even
Ah, that
you know,
that's true. It's almost like opposite of what happened back in like the 2016 draft with Zeke, and then you had Saquon. All these rookie running backs were coming in and just going nuts, man, and everybody fell in love with them. And then all it takes is one bad early running back to get drafted, and everybody's like, "I'm out. I'm out on running backs
yep.
early, man."
That combined
But
with all the studs that have been taken in the fourth or fifth round recently,
true, true.
it's
But I mean, will that mean I won't touch him at all in best ball? Absolutely not. I'm gonna be getting some shares of him. You
I'll
gotta.
if he falls to the first pick in the third round, I'm all over it.
I think that might be. I
But
mean,
I
I
mean,
don't
he's
know.
going
Maybe
towards the end
early.
of the second round most of the time in these drafts.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you'll see someone reach a little bit for him, but I mean, it's really crazy to take this guy before Saquon. You know what I mean? I've seen it happen,
That's a
but I mean,
tough
that's
thing
what
to
you're hoping
do.
he's going to turn into. So,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
why would you take the lottery ticket when you could take the money right now?
Right, and I totally agree with that, but I will say it's a above 0% chance that he outperforms
He could be
Saquon this
RB1.
year.
I'm not,
Right,
it's
right.
possible. It's definitely possible. But,
Yeah,
just
I
as far as value goes for these rookies as we're projecting before the draft, we don't know where they're going to end up. And
right,
but we do know the limited information that we do have is that you have to take this guy really high in the draft. You have to take
correct.
him right around people that you hope he turns into. And, and I also think there's a couple other red flags too. I mean, I didn't even start on it, and I might be overreacting a little bit. Maybe it matter, maybe it won't matter, but I think he needs to put on a little bit of weight too. I mean, I know
It's
there's a lot of other 215 pounds running back in the NFL. Those guys are all a little bit shorter with a little bit of a lower point of gravity, a little center of gravity there. And I think to sustain the hits, he's going to have to put on a little bit of weight. I mean, he'll probably still be good. Hopefully, it won't affect his run style too much, but there's a chance. And then also, him and Price, the guy that we just talked about, are two of the top three projected running backs in the class. I mean, is there any chance that they benefited from a great run blocking scheme over there at Notre Dame? I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance. And then there's also a really good chance he gets drafted by a bad team. There's
mm.
also, my biggest concern of all the concerns is run style. I mean, this guy loves to hurdle people. He is always pressing triangle when he's playing Madden. This
Right,
guy, he just hurdles people all the time. And I know Saquon gets away with it sometimes. He had that one really awesome
backwards,
reverse
yeah,
hurdle.
yeah.
And, but first of all, we can't expect that to be replicated so much. Second of all, he's just doing it way too much. The defenders are bigger, the hits are bigger. I mean, he's only going to take so many of those hits before he realizes he needs to start hitting the circle button and spin out of these tackles instead of start, jumping over every guy. Especially some of these guys are 6'5", you know.
To your point, just to add a little bit there, I do think it's definitely worth to note that that offensive line, it has to have some sort of you know kudos to it because they're not bums, right? Like,
No.
there's no way that all them guys are just a bunch of jamokes and them guys are, running
I mean, Notre
wild.
Dame is no, they always have a good run game. It's
Right.
kind of their identity. But I mean, it's a
And it
little extra right now. Their O line is special. It's got
and
to
it's
be.
funny you brought up the weight thing, right? I wonder if it is a weight thing, but I did notice that he does kind of get pushed off balance when he gets tackled or hit, or he
You
doesn't
get
just
hit high,
absorb those
man.
hits, and he gets hit and he kind of like he'll slow down a little bit sometimes. So we'll see. He gets to the NFL and we'll see.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I more than expect this guy to be the top rookie running back in the class. But with everything included, especially when we're talking about value,
He's being drafted top 10 tomorrow night for
he's getting
sure.
drafted really high. And there is one more name on this list who you can get a much better deal on. And he might
Absolutely.
not have quite the same season as Love, but considering the value, where you can get this guy, you can get this
Pound for
guy as
pound.
your fourth, your last running back on your team, maybe sometimes, and it's going to be worth it. Jonah Coleman, I love Jonah Coleman. You know what?
Yeah,
And
me
you kind
too,
of put
man.
me onto him. You told me a while back that he was your favorite running back in this
I
class,
I've been all
and I
over
already
him
knew
for
his
a while
name,
now.
but I wasn't thinking about him in quite that high of a regard till you had said that to me. I took a second look. And you know what? I don't even know what the deal was. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention the first time I watched, or I don't know how I missed it. But this guy's special. His run style is amazing. He reminds me a lot of Marshawn Lynch, except
Marshawn
he can
Lynch,
catch the ball
absolutely.
better. He's a
Correct.
better receiver than Marshawn Lynch. And for you young guys, if you don't remember Marshawn Lynch, I'll tell you, he was
Right.
special. They called him beast mode, and they called him beast mode for a reason because when the Seahawks rolled him out there, they were in beast mode. He was a real good player, and anytime you're getting compared to him coming out of college, you should be happy about that. You're welcome, Jonah. What you
Yeah,
got?
so from my notes here, man. First of all, he's from Stockton, California. So the kid's a dog,
Gangsta.
right? Yeah, like the guy's coming out there. He's not some pushover. The guy's there to hammer you. He's not running out of bounds. 5'9", 220-ish, depending on where you got his weight at what time. One fumble on 672 touches. The guy does not put it on the ground.
He's strong.
Also, dude, I mean, he's
So
he's a
strong.
hammer. He's a hammer. And the most missed tackles forced in his RB class. Nobody made people miss more than Jonah Coleman.
That's a nice stat.
That's a
Do you
nice
have the
stat.
number,
Oh,
or you just know it's the most? I don't want
it's
to put you
it's
on the
the it's
spot, but
it's the most. I don't have the number, but
no, I
it's the
believe you.
most.
I'm just curious, but I'll look into that.
Um,
That's a good stat. I like to hear that.
Also, I don't have his receiving numbers off the top of my head, but I do know he only has one career drop in his career
Well, it
as
says
a
here on
as
my
a
card that he had 31 receptions for 354 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah,
Um,
that's this year though.
yeah,
So
yep,
he's
in
had one
25.
career drop over his whole college
Yeah,
career.
and that might not
Again,
seem like a lot, but 31 receptions over a short college season. I
right,
mean, that's a couple of game at least. That's he can catch the ball. They were relying on him to catch the ball. It's
right,
not like they
and
didn't use him at all just because he didn't have huge numbers. That's because they would rather just pound it with him. I mean, you can't blame
tw-
them.
25 touchdowns in 2 seasons. I mean, the kid has just outperformed.
15 last year alone rushing, and then 2 more receiving. 17 touchdowns last year. I mean, how
I'm
many
gonna
games did
have
Washington play? Like 9 games? I mean, that's a
right.
lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, the guy he just runs violently, man. Like when you see this guy run, right, and you're just like it's almost like a man amongst boys type of cliche, saying. I think it's when we see this guy, hit the hole, he's not shying away from contact. This guy is going to run through you more than run, away from you.
Yeah, and a little complimentary stat to your stat about him breaking more tackles than anybody in the class. I got another one. 71% of his yards came after contact. 71%. That's
Yeah,
crazy. The
he's getting
first
hit and
man almost never takes him down.
You can't, man. He's a dog. There's some people that are just, they play football. He is a football player. Like that guy is NFL ready.
Yeah, and unlike a couple of the last guys that we talked about, he didn't exactly benefit from the best offensive line. I mean, and
Correct.
that kind of shows in the 71% of his yards after contact as well. He didn't have that many free holes to hit. He was getting hit early a lot of the time,
Oh,
but
for
still,
sure.
he still performed. Imagine if he was running behind that Notre Dame line.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm
That's a
saying?
good point. That's a good point there, man. What'd you say he was getting drafted now? Right now, what's his pre-draft?
155th on
Yeah.
average.
So I mean, what are we talking? 13th, 14th
It's
round there,
late,
man.
man. It's late. But you know what? It's going to climb. I've
Oh, it's
noticed
gonna
the last
climb.
couple drafts I did. I think I did 4 best ball drafts today so far, and I was only able to get him once. And I was planning on taking him a little bit ahead of ADP. So he is climbing already.
I'm gonna be the reason why that guy's climbs all
Yeah.
draft season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take him around early, probably more times than not.
You know what? We're just starting this channel. There might not be that many watchers, but the people who are watching, they know to take Jonah Coleman in a decent
That's
amount of
it.
their drafts, and you can thank us later.
Thank us now. Thank us
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Thank us
Thank us
now.
whenever you want. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
whenever you want, drop a comment, do whatever you gotta do, man. Just
Yeah,
just do it,
absolutely.
man.
You know, we could still talk about Jonah Coleman for a minute. We just laid down in the grass here for a second. But that's our last guy in the list, and I think it was a pretty good list. I mean, I've done a lot of drafts. I've been drafting these best ball drafts going back to March on a regular basis. And for the most part, everyone knows about Love. A couple guys know about Mike Washington Jr. Couple people are taking Price. A lot of these guys later in the draft are going behind ADP because a lot of drafters are just scared to take them right now, and they're going to learn soon. We want to be ahead of them.
Well, before your favorite sports announcer starts talking about him,
Yeah,
you can hear it from us, and with at least we were on the ball and we had some knowledge of these guys that maybe the average person might not know. And I guess on the way out the door, I just add one more name just for anybody that wants to listen or hear: Adam Randall, ex wide receiver,
solid.
6'3", 232, guy. Looks pretty great. He's going to be a day 3 guy probably,
Yeah,
but just keep your name or keep your ears open for an Adam Randall. If he lands in a even a semi decent spot,
maybe think about him for
listen.
Dynasty.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I mean, especially in Dynasty,
Yeah,
if you're into that.
you're
But
more into Dynasty than me.
I'm a
I don't want to say
Dynasty
anything out
guy.
of line here, but it seems to me like he's a guy projected a little bit more down the line.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know about year one, but I mean, it's not off the table. I always like to say there's a more than 0% chance of it happening. But yeah, he's a name to keep out there
It's
too.
true. There's a more than 0% chance almost anything happens.
Correct, correct.
All right.
So yeah, man, it was great, man. It was good talk. We gave you the top 9, threw you a little extra tidbit there, man, and
You know the 9 guys you should be targeting. Maybe 10 guys. Maybe 10
maybe
guys if you
10.
like that Adam Randall pick.
Yeah,
And you know what?
possibly.
Maybe you like our picks. Maybe you want to fade our picks. But come back. We're going to have plenty more projections, plenty of drafts. We're going to do tons of best ball drafts on this channel.
We're
And
not
we're going to
going
keep you
nowhere.
informed as much as we can. I'm Terrence. He's Chris. And this is the end.